It's 2025 Monterey Car Week, and it's the morning of Werks Reunion. Let's go.
I'm excited. A lot of cars to watch.
Cars are coming in, getting staged for being judged. Cars over there are heading over to the corral. But first thing this morning, we had a very special car join us. Come take a look. If you're a Porsche enthusiast like I am, I invite you to join our community. Just head over to pca.org and get ready to take your ownership experience to the next level. We'd appreciate it if you give us a like, comment, and subscribe. We've got lots of Porsche content coming your way. Now back to the video. Sometimes we have to keep secrets from our attendees, but hopefully it was well worth it, because here we are. Look what we've got today.
It actually spent the night here at Werks Reunion, the 963 RSP one of one.
One of one. This recently debuted across social media. It was across the pond, I believe.
After 24 hours at Le Mans, they got to see it for the first time.
And here it is in Monterey. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, the best thing about this car, it was made in America. So they drop off a factory fresh 963 to Porsche Classic in Atlanta, and they convert this car into a street car, which was no easy task.
I believe CEO Timo Resch gave them a pretty tight timeline to build this car fairly quickly, and it's never been done before. So how do you take a fully built race car and make it streetable?
Well, first they had to make a lot of phone calls to Penske Motorsports in North Carolina to see what they could take out and what they couldn't take out to make this a street car, because obviously it's a purpose-built race car. They still kept the engine the same. They had to put turn signals, brake lights. It's a single passenger, so hopefully you don't have a lot of friends that want to ride. But it even has a cup holder.
I remember when you heard about this, you said, would there be a passenger seat? Because there's so much equipment inside, and if you peek inside here, and hopefully Damon can get some B-roll, there is no room for a passenger. There's really just, they built compartments and leather-bound panels to cover it up to make it somewhat streetable.
If you're a lady that's going to be driving this, I suggest you do not wear a skirt, because it's not going to be a graceful exit out of this car. But it is definitely something that if you're given the opportunity to drive this machine, don't turn it down.
Now, the thing that we always joke about is, Porsches don't typically have a large enough cup holder, and if you look across the front dash here, one of the biggest things you see is a cup holder.
For American-sized cups, you could put a big gulp probably in there. But that was something they just did for fun. It wasn't something that the race cars have. Obviously, they have their own drinking system. But the cool thing is that this is a car that was ready to run at Le Mans that they turned into a street car as a gift to Roger Penske. That's what the RSP stands for. That's his initials. And they were giving him it as a gift for all he's done with Porsche since the 50s up until now with the 963 program.
Now that you've seen this is how we kick off Werks Reunion this year. But let me tell you, there's even more to be seen.
A whole lot more.
The 963 RSP is only going to be with us for a couple of hours, but taking center stage here at the Classic Restoration Challenge area and the Porsche Cars North America area are these two special cars that will be with us all day.
Yeah, so we've seen the Club Coupe. A lot of people haven't seen this in person though, because they only debuted at the Porsche Parade. But for many people, they're seeing the Club Coupe for the first time.
Yeah, it's very special to us, obviously, and we saw it at Parade. Now it's here at Werks Reunion. We have 70 lucky PCA members that are going to be able to purchase that vehicle. I've been processing them, and it's such a delight to let people know that they have the opportunity to buy it, and they'll start taking delivery later this year as well as early next year. This one here is very special, and I think this is only one of one as of the moment. The celebration of 50 years of Andile. And if you notice, of course, the names, Arnold, Dieter, and Alwyn, and that's where they took the letters A-N-D-A-L.
Yeah, so we have Alwyn Springer and Dieter Ozenhofer coming to the stage later today to talk about the special graphics package that you can get when you order your GT3, or you can get the 1970 917 Salzburg package, the one on the car that won Le Mans. But what a unique design to have on your car, and this is all done for under which is exclusive.
And it's a great way to honor the folks that really are, the grandfathers, so to speak, of motorsports and have done so much for the brand. And we were talking with Gunnar Jeanette yesterday, and we talked with our friends Michael Levdis and Randy Popes, and it all kind of circles back to Andile.
And if you looked in the late 70s through the 80s, every car that was in the winner circle in North America, almost every one had an Andal sticker because the engines were all massaged by the folks at Andal.
And in a little bit, we'll take you for the tour once the covers are off of the Classic Restoration Challenge cars. These are the cars that the dealers have put their time, effort, and money to come here and show off what they can do with classic cars. Manny, it's not often that we get to see a CGT. It's really not often that you get to see GT with this sort of quote-unquote graphics. And I met the owner of this car in Arizona when we were doing the photo shoot of the collection, the RS collection. And then I saw him and this car at SEMA last year, and hopefully getting him out to a PCA event. Thankfully, he's come to Werks Reunion this year. This car is actually been wrapped.
I was going to give a trigger warning, 'cause I'm sure people like me are watching and going, how did you do this to factory paint? Why? But it's not, you're right. So it's like it is a wrap.
It's been wrapped, and then he had a social media sensation artist actually do this with I want to say marker, but it's not really a marker. It's like an artist marker. Did it by hand in front of a crowd at SEMA, and it is awesome. Coming front to back, it's got like a fade to a lighter. It's if a CGT isn't enough, I mean,
I'm impressed by it. I usually don't go for this kind of design on cars, but it is the fact that it's hand drawn. Yeah, it says a whole lot, because this isn't like a flat canvas to work on. They've got all these curves and whatnot that he has to work around, but you would think it was printed on.
Yeah, and it's a work of art. And the best part is, for those of you, like you said, that are triggered, like, how could you do this to such an original car? This can all be peeled off at some day if he chooses to go back to stock. Last year at Werks Reunion, it was the reintroduction of BB. And this year they brought another stunner for us in a very custom gold color. If you didn't know, the last one that we saw, the black one with the rainbow stripes, the livery, that was a M491, which is a turbo look.
That's right.
Targa.
It's rare in itself.
Super rare. Guess what? This is also an M491 Targa. Another rare car that they've converted. This customer wanted the unique livery stripe package here, the gold, the HRE wheels. Take a look back here. 4 liters of an Ed Pink motor. The stacks, which look like, you know, I would say old
Well, they give it
school.
the vintage look of a carburetor with the reliability and performance of fuel injection.
It's actually
the
fuel
best
injected.
of both worlds, yeah.
Look at the interior. This is kind of cool. Reupholstered, Sparco base seats, painted backs. The gauges, if you can take a look, is mother of pearl backing. And we've been told the trim rings around the gauges are actually gold plated. So when you talk about BB, it's over the top. But for this owner, this is exactly what they wanted. It was built to taste. Manny, we are well underway. What better to start with the Porsche Classic Restoration Challenge?
Yeah, the West Coast, this is where all the dealers are bringing their cars that they've been working on for months to show off with their restoration skills. The judging happens today.
Now, they have 3 classes. They have individualization, preservation, and restoration. Now, unfortunately, we can't show you all the cars. Maybe Damon could get some B-roll and kind of take a kind of summary shot, but I really want to talk about this chroma flared. I don't know all the details of it, but it just pops out. We gotta check it out. I think it's like a Monterey.
It's a Monterey 997, the kit put on it. You got to see it to believe it.
Let's go. So this car here, I mean, there's been a crowd in front of it. That's okay, no worries. We're in the middle of it all, so it's all live. This car's had a crowd around it all day.
So it's a GT3 that they went to almost the archives of Monterey to pull these parts, because Monterey was working on the 997s back then, and the pull-out suspension, even engine parts, interior, to make this a Monterey 997. When's the last time you saw a street car Monterey?
Exactly. Of course, the paint draws you in because it's so over the top, but it's all these details. And if Damien can see, look at this interior with the rally clock, the suede race text, the purple race text.
Even anyone who's seen the most recent Club Coupe with that very cool glove box, that's a CSX option, they have something similar on here.
Now, Porsche Santa Clarita, they've been working on this for the past year, and I believe there was one individual mechanic, staff person that was dedicated to building this car.
Yeah, when you go with this type of paint, you're not taking a shortcut. This takes a lot to make this as perfect as it seems.
I hope that we will be able to cover this car in more detail, and we'll share it with you a little bit later.
And we'll see if it wins or not.
Good luck to Porsche Santa Clarita.
Of course.
Look at this, we come all the way to the West Coast and we see East Coast friends.
East Coasters! Good to see you guys, hey Damon, Manny.
So back up on this hill, check out, overlanding has been a big thing. Of course, let's check out this Cayenne that I believe was like taken completely apart to be built just for this show.
So we talk about on the podcast about the Facebook marketplace where you can get the $8,000 Cayennes and whether or not you should get them or not. This was the Facebook marketplace car they purchased.
Really?
Completely took it apart, rebuilt the engine, made it into a support vehicle, and this is, as you can see, is the attention getter up on the hill. It's what I think everyone who has a Cayenne secretly wants to turn their car into.
Yeah, look at the details on the engine here, Damon. It's actually on right now with the bumper brush guards here, the lifted suspension.
And you can't hide the fact, when you put mirrors underneath your car, you're not hiding the work you did and the detail on the underbody to get that as clean as it is.
I don't think I've ever seen an off-road vehicle that clean underneath. And it's also just as clean on the inside with the Patina inserts there. The Porsche Classic radio.
And because it's a support vehicle, it's really only a two-seater.
Air tank, jacks, come across the back here.
I think it's better equipped than most AAA support vehicles.
It is. I think it could do that as a second job.
Without a doubt.
And of course, you need a battery charger, just in case, help out your friends. So being judged behind us is the GT class, definitely a crowd favorite. We see our presenting sponsor in the background, Michelin, which we'll go visit in a second. But let's say you want to take your GT3 to the next level.
Because everyone has, and his brother has a GT3 RS, so you want to stand out.
So let's take a look at this SP Motorsports GT3. We've got forged line wheels. Of course, the color pops out at you. You've got these wheel discs, similar to what Monterey does in their kit, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like taking your GT3 RS and making it as close as possible to what a race car would for the street.
Yeah.
Once again, modifying or unstocking your car to make it stand out from all the other GT3 RSs that are showing up today.
I can't imagine that driving Halos with Halo seats on the street is easy.
And climbing over a cage with the Hans device, you have to work on your yoga to be flexible to be able to fit in there.
But very cool that they brought it out. It's cool to see a very modified GT3.
That's right.
Hey Manny, we got to take advantage. Bib's here. Get our photo done. Take a look.
I think Bib has been going to the gym.
Bib's
So
getting looking trim.
He's pumped.
Thank you to Michelin, our presenting sponsor of Werks Reunion, Monterey.
He's pumped.
Manny, backdating is not a new thing. You've seen
No.
many people take short hoods and make them into long hoods. And here, what we have here, what looks like a long hood, but can you guys guess what chassis this car is?
You'll never guess.
This is a 997. More specifically, a 997.1. I think when they start producing these for customers. This will be based off of a 997.2 chassis. And there's some little telltale signs, but you got to look pretty close. We've learned that it's an all new steel-bodied car. It's not like they took a existing car and chopped it up and put it on a 997 chassis. This is all new. And if you look inside, you see what you would normally see from a G-body car, but you can see little elements. The center stack of the air conditioning, definitely 997. How
But they've
cool is that?
actually shortened the 997 wheelbase.
And he said it's close to like
closer to 77 930.
there it is. Take a look back here. That's not what you expect to see underneath a duck lid. Yeah. One of the main things that you get to see when you come to Werks Reunion. Manny, the theme vehicle for Werks Reunion this year is?
The 912 and the 911 Targa.
Which is why we have that.
That's right, the famous Targa symbol. But of course, they made Targas that weren't a traditional removable roof, but had a sliding glass. Started with the 993, 996, ended with the 997. I almost walked by this car because I thought it was a GT3. And what caught my attention was the unique feature of the sliding glass Targas is the rear window that pops up, which I wish they would have put on all 911s, because anyone who owns a 911, it is a pain to get back there to clean your back window. Look how easy, it makes like a hatchback.
Pops up and just, yeah, you have access, clean the window and such. And
Then I thought maybe it was a hardtop. It hit me, I'm like, no, this is Targa Road. They have the whole display of Targas. But look at this beautiful build. It has E88s, the 4S wide body.
Yep.
It's a, it makes
the
people,
uprights, the wings.
makes people want to buy a 997 Targa.
And if you look at the front fenders, widened out a bit, I see.
It looks like a GT3.
This certainly would do really well at our Unstock event. And the carbon fiber hood, this car is stunning.
Yeah, it's beautiful build, and especially being a Targa makes it super, super unique.
Of course, we find ourselves in front of a 356. I was drawn to this car when it pulled in.
That's exactly what got my look too, because we're seeing so many cars, like almost 1,000 Porsches come through, and they tend to blend into each other. But when this went by, the patina, the paint, and of course the Carrera Panamericana livery, I said I got to go find this car when it finally gets parked.
Now this car is known as the Hot Tamale, and the story behind it, I believe, it was his father's car.
Yep, and he daily drove it. Him and his father and their brothers, and I think in 1979 they parked it. And then it was brought back to life recently. They even found the matching engine to it, and they put on this Carrera Panamericana livery. It didn't run in a Carrera race, but this is what the cars would have looked like that ran. So, man, what a thing to do. Instead of restoring them to perfect condition, better than the factory, they took that patina and they really capitalized upon it and made something that's an eye catcher.
I can't think of a better way to honor your father, who's driven the car over 200,000 miles, than to take it out to an event and just enjoy it as is.
I just want to know the scrape on the side was one of the sons that did that.
You wear it with pride.
And then try to hide it from dad.
Of course, a 935 or a 935 inspired car is always going to draw some attention. The judging has wrapped up somewhat. At least we already know this car is first in class.
Ribbon. And this is the famous Moby Dick bodywork that Porsche built that specifically was for Le Mans, because Le Mans back then didn't have the chicanes on the Michelin straight. So Porsche knew they could win the race if they maximized their speed. But Porsche never thought that someone would stick an electric motor instead of the turbochargers.
The name Bisimoto, electric Porsches. If you've been on social media, you've seen him roasting tires as large as they are, and it's an incredible feat to be able to stuff an electric motor into something that as beautiful as a 935.
150-mile range, that's enough for me to commute all week.
And it came in so unassumingly, quiet, but man, the looks alone is stunning, and the details on the interior with the Patina seats, the dash. This is probably the coolest EV I've ever seen.
Vintage 911 with modern electronics, I love it.
And it's great to see it at Werks Reunion.
Yep.
What do you think about Werks Reunion, this event today?
It's pretty good so far. Someday I want to be a YouTuber. Someday.
Manny, check out this class-winning 928. I know you get calls all the time where 928 fans, especially those kind of born or been around the 80s era, they love the 928 and maybe not have the budget, and they go, man, I think I'll pick up one for $1,000. You always tell me that's not a great idea, but in this case, it worked out.
Yeah, if you know what you're doing, if you don't know what you're doing, the neglected 928 can run tens of thousands of dollars to restore. But this owner knew what he was doing, plus his daughter is a mechanic and she knew what she was doing, which played a big part because this car was purchased for a little over $1,000. It did not look like this at all. They restored it. As they're finishing restoration, he has a stroke.
Oh my
God!
God.
The daughter has to finish it. He's doing great now, but she comes in and she finishes the restoration. So true father-daughter collaboration. But when I came to look at it, I could not believe that this was #1, a daily driver, had 150,000 miles, and what it looked like prior to this beautiful restoration.
And what you often say is not the problem, but the reason why some people stay away from 920s is because they failed to have been maintained over the course of their
Deferred
life.
maintenance, yep.
Deferred maintenance. But when you get a car, especially if you have the opportunity to buy something like this, where it's all been gone through, this is now what you really want.
Yeah, this was Porsche's Halo car back in the day. This was the Autobahn burner. It was the car that the Germans loved because it just cruised on the Autobahn at 150 all day. Now people like this are bringing them back to their former glory.
And if you've never heard the exhaust tone of a Porsche 32 valve V8, so nice.
Yes, I agree.
You never know who you might meet when you're at Werks Reunion, like this guy that's just gonna walk right by me. Jeff Swart is in the house. Say hello to everyone.
Hello. Good job.
Good cars, good people. We have over close to 600 cars in the corral, 150, 175 judge cars. There's so much to see. We can't cover it all.
Bunch of display, close to 1,000 Porsches. That doesn't include the parking lot.
So that was just a little glimpse. Honestly, to experience all this, you've got to come out to next year's Werks Reunion. We'd love to see you out here. You just can't miss it.